up, YouTube? This is Genesis 121 giving you guys an update on the 140-gallon saltwater aquarium. So you're probably looking at the tank and wondering what happened. Well, got a little bit of bad news. I had a ick outbreak, and I know that's probably something that could be wondering how that could happen, being that I quarantine my fish before I add them into my main display. Well, I was dealing with a situation where I was being a little bit impatient. I had a yellow eye coal tang that I was just excited about getting. I got it for a really good price, and I was quarantining it. And I took it through a very short quarantine process. It was probably only about probably a little less than 2 weeks. I quarantined this, and during that time in quarantine, I wasn't treating it with any medications or anything. Just had it sitting in the quarantine, monitoring it, seeing if it had any ick outbreak. Well, it looked like it was pretty healthy while it was going through the quarantine process. It was eating and all that, so added it into the main display, and nothing happened right off the bat. But about a couple weeks later, I started noticing some ick on it, some white spots on the yellow eye coal tang, and then started noticing some on my flame angel. He started getting them pretty heavy, and then my yellow tang started getting a couple of them on his fins. So immediately realizing this, I just was going to be proactive about it this time. And last time I had an ick outbreak, I waited way too late. It got way too far along and wiped out all my fish. So this time I was going to jump on it right away, not let the same thing happen. So pulled all my fish out of the main display, and for about a couple hours my wife and I were digging in this tank, tag teaming it, and we were trying to get all the fish out here. We had to remove most of the rock work. Some of the fish were pretty easy. The clownfish were pretty easy to snag up. The ones that were the hardest were the yellow tang and the flame angel. Flame angel was just fast as could be, so it was hard to get that one. And then the bicolor dotty back, because it was so small, it could just get in between the rocks and everywhere. So those fish were pretty hard to get, but we wind up managing to get them all out and get them over here into the quarantine tank. So as you can see, they are in the quarantine tank being treated. They're doing healthy right now. At first, I started treating the tank with this cordon Riddick, and the reason I was using this was I didn't want to use a copper treatment because I had a flame angel and they are sensitive to copper. So it's the only reason I went this method. So I started using this. It seemed to be doing pretty good. Started seeing some of the white spots removed off of the fish, and that went on for about a week. And then a week later, my yellow tang started getting really bad. Like, it stopped eating, it started getting covered in white spots. So immediately when that happened, I decided to take a gamble. And down here I have cupramine, and I know for a fact that cupramine will wipe out anything. Cupramine will kill any signs of ick. This is definitely the route to go when it comes to ick treatment, but I was apprehensive about it because I knew that flame angels were sensitive to copper. So I took the gamble. I started treating the tank with cupramine, and probably 2 to 3 days later, all signs of ick were gone off any of the fish in here. My yellow tang was swimming around healthy, started eating again. My black and white OCELLARIS clownfish, it had was getting white spot on him, and that cleared up. So that's where I'm at right now with this. Still treating with cupramine. I'm probably on my, I think I'm about a week in on treating with just cupramine. And it was a week before that I was using the Riddick. So I'm going to do a full treatment of this cupramine on all the fish. The Flame Angel has not had any side effects of it. All the fish are reacting well to it. Now, I didn't have any fish loss due to ick, but the bad news is I did lose 3 of my fish, not due to ick, but due to aggression from moving from a 140-gallon aquarium to this 10-gallon quarantine tank. And the problem with that is, although I do have a lot of PVC in here, some of these fish, are territorial to fish of their kind. One of my CHROMIS got just, all 3 of the fish just got beat to death by some of these other fish. I lost one of my CHROMIS because the other 2 CHROMIS just beat it to death, and I found that one dead one day. The next one I found was my bicolored dollyback. He was just beat up and bit up all over the place, and I found him dead a couple days later. And then recently, about 2 days ago, the one that really sucked for me was my yellow-eyed coal tang. I did notice that my yellow tang had aggression towards the yellow-eyed coal tang and would always whiplash it and peck at it. It would do that, but when they were in the 140, they had enough space between them to where they didn't really mess with each other. But as soon as I put them in here in this 10-gallon quarantine tank, they really started going. I mean, the yellow tang really started going at it. So I lost those 3 fish, and that's where I'm at now. I am continuing with this quarantine process using the cupramine. Hopefully I don't lose any more fish. I am monitoring them as much as I can. I also have my temperature raised up to like 81 degrees in this quarantine tank. Just trying to get those conditions right so they can go through this cycle and the ick can die off. So back to the main tank. I have been, if you can see, I've got the coralline algae has really started to spread on the back of my glass here, all along the back there, on the overflow box, on the returns. It's just coralline algae everywhere, and it was a lot growing on the rocks too, but when we had to tear the tank apart to get the fish out, a lot of the sides that were exposed to the light, you can't really tell which is which, so we're going to have to re-obfuscate this tank and get it right back to where it was. I just haven't had the time to do it because I'm in school right now, in this military school, and it consumes most of my day, so my tank has been on the back burner for now until I can get some free time. Part of the reason why I've been having this coralline algae growth is I started dosing the BRS calcium, and before that I was using the reef supplements by CChem, the 1 and 2, and I went through that way too fast for this size of a tank, so I bought the 1-gallon container of the calcium because my alkalinity in this tank always stays high, it never drops. So I've been dosing calcium, and that's been helping to it. As far as additions, the only thing I've added to this tank is this fire shrimp down here in the corner, and he pretty much just hangs out down here. I have seen that he's molted once, so obviously he's growing, so that gives me 2 shrimp that I have in the tank now. I have this fire shrimp, and then I have the skunk or cleaner shrimp, as you would call it. Then I also had this hermit crab in here somewhere. He was pretty unique when I saw him. His coloration was different than most crabs that I've seen. Can't really find him right now, but there's my other shrimp right there hanging out back here, and chocolate chip starfish. One thing I have noticed with there being no fish in this tank is my copepod population has just been like booming. Like, I look on the back glass there, and you can see that they're just everywhere. It's all over the place. You can look back there, it's just copepods all over the place, and even on the rocks. So their population is looking pretty good. It's good news for me, because I did want to add a mandarin fish to my tank. That was going to be one of the last fish I added, so seeing those copepods really multiplying is a good note for me. But you know, in this hobby, you know, some things, you get some things that happen that suck. You just gotta drive on with it, and that's what I'm gonna do. When I get some time, I'm going to re-aquascape this and try to get it back to where I had it before. Hopefully all my fish survive quarantine, and there's no more aggression between them, and they are all able to make it back into the tank, and then I'll be able to get some more new additions of fish going back in here, but making sure they are properly quarantined for the correct amount of time and treated before entering into the main display. Just thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, rate and comment on this video. Thanks for watching.